Hey, we are back. Like I just said, hey, we're back. That's what I do now.
Probably scared the crap out of everybody who's trying to listen to this.
Nah, it's like I said in the last podcast, we're crisp now. We have equipment.
Did you? Well, I wasn't here for the last podcast, so I didn't know what the fuck you said on the last one.
There it is, the profanity.
I owe none of you a nickel.
He will never owe a nickel. I think last podcast we had like maybe one cuss word. But this time I guarantee there's probably 20.
That sounds uninteresting and lame.
No, it was good.
Nah, I don't think so.
We've only been in like 45 seconds, too.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 already.
Actually, I
don't know.
started it like 30 seconds early, so I was like within the first 5 seconds.
That's pretty good
I dropped
stuff.
an F-bomb.
That is pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At
That is
least,
fantastic.
At least Ben's consistent.
I try to be.
So we've talked about Bigfoot before, and
Yes.
like we said in last podcast, we have Jeff Meldrum, the Bigfoot expert from Idaho State University, coming on the 11th. Or actually be the 12th, won't it? Time it's up?
Yeah, it'll be up on the 12th.
Okay, so on the 12th. But tonight we're going to talk about aliens, alien abductions. Do you know anybody that's been abducted? Stuff like that.
I do not.
Why not? You're not cool if you don't know anybody that's been abducted.
I just do not.
That's why you cuss so much, because you don't have the glory of knowing somebody's been abducted.
Especially
I
where
don't
we
fucking
live
know
in the
anyone
middle
who's
of
been
nowhere.
abducted.
Well, I know somebody's been abducted. And let
Really?
me tell you something. The story sounds insane.
Is it believable?
I really don't know, because I have no clue if there is aliens. I would like to think there's aliens.
Oh, I think so.
I think there's something out there.
Well, I mean, they've had, they just found last week life somewhere in space. Some kind of parasite type organism or bacteria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're out like on a planet or on a? Are we talking like Mars? Talking?
Well, it didn't really say.
Probably just floating around in space out there, just hanging out.
Yeah, it didn't really say what it was, but it did say there were Hey, the article just said life found in space.
I'm guessing it sounds almost more like you just read the Yahoo headline and did not click on the article.
No, I clicked on it, but it didn't say much about it because it's Yahoo.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah, so it was a Yahoo headline.
Damn it was a Yahoo thing.
You got me.
No, I think it was actually on. I think it was on Drudge Report.
Ah,
Yeah, I believe it was.
got to believe the Drudge Report.
I like Drudge.
Oh, I do too.
I mean, they have some good stuff.
I
Who's
read it
Drudge?
all the time.
Well, according to Cody, it's wasn't it Michelle Drudge?
It was
you said?
Mike.
Well, I mean, I know it's Matt Drudge, but
No, it's
he
Mike.
called him Mike.
He
Okay.
called him Mike because
Okay.
they're both good guys.
Yeah.
Was what we heard.
I still don't know who Dredge is.
He's
What are you saying?
he's
Is
a
it Dredge?
Drudge.
He
Like
was
Drudge.
pretty much one of the first online news guys. Instead of going through the big channels of news, he was like actually posted it online. I mean, this was like early to mid '90s when he started doing this. As far as like, when we're talking about some dial-up shit
Yeah,
here,
back in
like
the gateway
where
days.
breaking news. Once it took you 45 minutes to download the breaking news.
Yeah, he was kind of
nuts.
like he was one of the first kind of non-MSNBC Fox News type have an agenda.
No allegiance to anybody really.
Well, I mean, he was kind of one of the pioneers for like a podcast type of deal
He
Well,
was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
because he wasn't really controlled by a big media outlet. He just kind of did his own thing.
Very nice.
All right. Well, now I know.
Yeah,
And I know how to say it now, too.
Yeah,
Dredge.
not Dredge.
I was
Dredge.
thinking of like, Judge Dredd or something. No.
Oh man, that movie is so bad.
I didn't see the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't-
the new one was
that
god
Is
awful.
it terrible?
That was horrible.
I mean, the Stallone one was okay,
Mhm.
but the new one, whew.
Is that the one with Wesley Snipes too?
Leslie?
No, that was you're thinking of what was that movie with Wesley Snipes and Stallone?
Demolition Man?
Demolition Man. Yeah.
Ah,
No,
where
that wasn't
every
that
restaurant was Taco Bell.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I remember from that, and I've hoped that was going to be our future, and it's not.
one. It's just like that Ninja
Son of a
Turtles
bitch.
movie with the all the dominoes everywhere.
Did you go see it?
I loved it.
I wanna
Was there
see it so
dominoes
bad.
all over the place?
I think it was dominoes everywhere. Like every time they have pizza, which I mean, if it's Ninja Turtles, you have to have pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
Megan Fox didn't just ruin the whole damn thing.
She's
I like
sexy.
Megan Fox.
What you talking about?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like looking at her, but her acting's terrible.
It's a
Can't
Ninja
remember
Turtle
her
movie.
name.
Doesn't matter.
That's true. But
The Turtle's still the show. You don't have to worry about it.
that's true. The fine performance by the Turtles.
Yeah.
Anyway, which the Turtles were not aliens. That was what the rumor was originally, that they were going to be from outer space.
Yeah. What was
Did you hear that? It
That
was
stupid.
originally like the first thing they published was that the Ninja Turtles were, I don't know about their ninja capabilities, but they were going to be from outer space and not mutants, I guess. Teenage.
Space turtles.
Who the fuck knows? Yes, it was going to be middle-aged space turtle.
So what if
who studied kung fu? Wasn't even going to be ninja.
What if Michael Bay was onto something though? If he would have done that, maybe that's what they look like. Maybe
Michael
aliens,
Bay's always on something.
well onto something.
Onto something.
Onto something.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Coke now.
Yeah, I mean he might be that too, but he comes up with some really cool stuff.
He loves that Coke, man.
He comes up with cool stuff.
He's
and
too rich
what if
not
what
to.
if aliens looked like Michelangelo?
Ooh, that would be nice.
Kids would love that.
I would.
What's all right? So you got what's their names? The four of them. You got Michelangelo and Donatello, but the other two.
Then Raphael and Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Mm-hmm. And then Splinter.
I think-
Master Splinter.
Master. Oh,
If you wanna be
okay.
respectful.
And then Shredder was the bad guy, right?
He was.
Okay.
And Shredder in this movie is he's
A
a
big transformer.
dude. Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a transformer kind of.
He's not Kevin Nash anymore, though.
No. Oh, is that who he was in the first one?
In the second
first-
one, Super
Oh,
Shredder was
okay.
Kevin Nash.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I don't. who's
Professional
Kevin Nash?
wrestler.
Oh,
Diesel,
Diesel.
also just Kevin Nash.
But if you see in this one, they couldn't have him because this guy was like maybe like looked like he was 15 foot tall or something.
Well, Kevin Nash is like in his 60s now too, so
Yeah, that's
that
true.
probably would affect his flow
Yeah.
a little bit, getting after the turtles.
So we've been reading some stuff about aliens.
Yeah, to
What-
get back on actually the topic of aliens
Well, hey,
and off
we're
of
talking-
Ninja Turtles.
Space
Ninja
turtles,
Turtle and
man.
aliens, man.
Ninja Space Turtles.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call them from now on.
Kung Fu space turtles.
Fantastic.
Ninjas.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen that NASA video where it shows two spaceships? Or it shows like a little object. It looks like a spaceship. And it basically looks like he's shooting at another spaceship. And it's like a NASA video. You ever seen that?
Never
I
seen
don't
it.
think so. No.
I mean, I don't know if it's staged or what. From what I understand, it's actually a NASA, it's actually a real deal, but it looks like almost like Galaga. Like boom, like
That
it's shooting
was-
little.
Such a good game.
No, it was.
Oh,
but,
yes.
But this looks like the real deal Galaga.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Was it like recent? Is it from...
No, I think it's pretty old. I mean, I would say it's maybe in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have had a computer, we could have pulled it up.
But we don't.
No, we need to get one.
All this equipment in here, and we
terrible.
don't have a computer
No computers.
that we can look stuff up on.
Mm-mm.
But I don't know. It looks pretty cool. But I think one of the most interesting thing is about the whole alien situation is the Men in Black. And I'm not talking about the movie.
Now, not getting off subject again and talking about another Michael Bay movie. We're actually talking about, wow, he is dominating.
So what have you
this
read
whole-
about the Men in Black? The real...
Pretty much just these weird-looking dudes kind of have some odd features to them, usually bald-headed guys from what I've read, as far as that if you have any sort of alien encounter, as far as you say, hey, aliens came and visited me in my house, hey, I got abducted, hey, I got probed, whatever the case may be, they come out and see you, as far as and they'll kind of under the guise of usually like interviewing you, kind of like from some government agency, and then usually just kind of ask you some questions and sort of invade your privacy and then off on their merry way. I haven't really read too much stuff as far as once the Men in Black come to see you that you, like, people say they're abducted again or anything like that. It's just kind of like a customer satisfaction survey for your abduction.
So there's real Men in Black, like actual, like kind of somewhat. I mean, obviously it's going to be different than what the Michael Bay movie was based off of, or whatever it was based off of. But
Well, it could be complete bullshit. Who knows?
yeah, exactly. I mean, anybody can put an article on the internet. It's just, I don't know,
There's been a lot of claims of it, though.
really.
Like, and I mean, it could be also, too, something, because, I mean, probably, I mean, like we were saying, nobody knows if there's actually aliens, and no one's really even, I mean, I think the people who firmly believe it probably are a little too into it as far as, but that could be just the same sort of thing that the urban legend grew as far as along with aliens, that there's the Men in Black will come out and visit you after you have that. But whether that was like a basis for the movie or even any sort of inspiration, I would assume just based on the title of it that he was kind of thinking.
Don't you think that? I think as far as talking about Bigfoot and all these other extraordinary type topics, it seems like the whole alien genre. There's some crazies, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I mean, if there is aliens, great, but there's some crazy son of bitches talking about this.
Oh yeah. I mean, they take it to like it seems like that one especially is taken to the whole next level. Like even with the Bigfoot stuff, it's kind of like the Finding Bigfoot and stuff on TV. people just usually laugh that off and things, like if they think they're being a little too excited about it, like, they're just...
Yeah,
they're
everything's
just,
a Bigfoot, pretty much.
right, they're like, oh, that's okay. But like the alien people, they'll fight your ass,
They're
man.
hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all have heard about the place in Alaska, right? Where there's like more alien abductions.
Is that the one they back
like-
to the movies where they made that? What was it, The Fourth Kind? Didn't they make it at
Yeah.
Nome,
Yes.
Alaska?
No.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Yes.
Yeah, but
What
it's
it- that sounds
supposedly
pretty cool.
The fire in the sky.
supposedly there's like more alien abductions in this one town or whatever than like anywhere else in the world, like per year or something. I don't know what the statistics are on it or what.
And we're not going to find out because we have no computer.
Well,
Right.
and I wonder why, if that was the case, I wonder why they would, let's say if there's extraterrestrials, why would they worry so much about Nome, Alaska? I mean, what would be the benefit of just hitting that one spot? Like, I know Mexico and New Mexico, it's like Arizona, it's like just massive there.
And of course, Roswell. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
Roswell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the population size
What do you think it's probably a really small population, right?
compared to around like those areas. I'm sure.
Yeah, and probably less. I mean,
I don't know.
I guess that could make sense. Another thing, too, we mentioned Roswell. You know, most of these alien experts, so-called experts, talk about the Roswell, the whole crash landing.
Right.
And
Area 51. all
right, Area
that.
51. And basically what happened is there was a whole report on this spaceship that landed, right? And then I believe it was actually like national, because back then it was mostly radio, so they picked it up and they, went out there and said, yeah, there was an alien spaceship that crashed. All these kinds of things happened, and then later on the government changes the story and says, well, it was just a weather balloon. So it seemed like kind of a whole change in story that makes it seem more believable in the case it could have been an alien spaceship.
And some of these more extreme, I think, alien believers and experts, I think that some of them actually believe, aliens been around since, it's been coming to the Earth since back in Egyptian times, how they believe in so many gods. They believe those were actual aliens coming down and teaching them how to build all those. Because, I guess in a way it kind of makes sense. People say that they don't understand how they built the pyramids and the technology they would have had to have to do that.
Yeah, I've heard that. Where they say, like, if you take an aircraft and go up high, you look down, it looks like, it looks really cool. I mean, like, somebody had to be flying around to view that, and there wasn't anybody flying around at that time.
Kind of goes hand in hand with the intelligent design sort of thing. There's a lot of people who believe instead of it being God that kind of put his finger down and advanced us from whatever would be like the caveman life form to where we're technologically advanced. A lot of people think that might have been like alien intervention actually that triggered the advancement of society and like the ancient Egyptians and stuff. Because there are some freaking advanced ancient societies out there. Doing stuff back when you consider what time they lived as opposed to what we have now. We have like cell phones and iPads and stuff like that, but they were doing crazy stuff with medicine and things actually important as far as on par with what we're doing today.
Well, also, you look at, what's that big rock formation?
Stonehenge.
Yeah, Stonehenge. They say there's no way anybody could have done that back then. Move those rocks into those places.
Well, and they have, like, different, what do you call it, like, words in the... You'd have to basically be in the air to tell what a lot of these things are.
Yeah.
So back then there was no
planes, nobody knew.
no planes or anything, so why would they have done that? Unless the big argument is they're making that for God.
Yeah, they're
right?
trying to show God or show their gods at the time what they believed in.
But what if they were the gods?
Yeah.
What if the aliens were the gods?
Everything says they came down from on high. Nothing interprets any different than that as far as, which I don't believe that as far as, if anything, I think it'd be misinterpretation, but that there could be, obviously, if you saw something like that, we couldn't even interpret it now based on what we have like access to, all the years we've lived and technology we have. We couldn't really decipher now if aliens visited us, much less if it was 2,000, 3,000 years ago with a primitive society that doesn't even have airplanes. We couldn't, there's no way they could fathom anything like that as far as...
Another thing, too, what if aliens, let's say they're not God, would they worship a God? Would they be like us and have that thing in their head where we need to believe there's a God and an afterlife and things of that nature? Has anybody ever asked that question? Or if they have?
Who knows? Maybe that's why they, instead of them focusing on a God, maybe that's why they're probably more technologically advanced than us.
Yeah.
If they can travel
that is a typical...
as far distances as, if from wherever they would come from to come to Earth, you know, maybe that's why they have advanced faster or more than we have.
Yeah, the real
how long they've been
hardcore
around.
scientists, the sort of things like that, really say, as far as a lot of times morality and ties to religion and belief in afterlife and things are what kind of hold people back, as far as, which I mean, still is like, because I mean, the real hardcore, anything in the name of science sort of thing, I mean, they will do some fucked up stuff
some
in the
things, either which
advancement
way,
of their research, no matter what.
Some things I think don't just don't need to be messed with, whether or not it's a God thing, a religious belief, or it's a scientific belief.
Mm-hmm.
Some things just need to be left
even if
alone.
aliens, I mean, even if the government knew that aliens were real, I don't ever see them releasing it, or you know, because they would more than likely be the first people to find out.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, if someone was to, I mean, technically, maybe your everyday, you know, citizen could be the, you know, first, or you know, whatever, he get abducted or something, but the government's gonna wrap it up before it ever gets out to the public. So, I mean, I just don't see. I mean, it could be real, but I mean, I just don't see the government, if it is real, releasing it to us to let us know, because the people would freak out.
Same as almost everything else, as far as they give you the information they want you to know, and then they keep the other stuff, and for good or for bad. I mean, that's kind of, there's no, it's like, I mean, there's people out there, of course, that are like, well, we have the right to know everything, and then, I mean, you look at the way we react a lot of times to news, as far as some of the stuff, it really is in our best interest not to know. I mean,
the people would flip. I mean, if they actually knew that, like, I mean, there would be, I mean, I picture if, like, there was actually evidence, like a dead alien body, you know, front page news worldwide, like, that would be, like, riots break the streets. So, I mean, just, because I would just picture, like, people thinking the world's going to end, because, I mean, what was it, 2012? I remember people were going to some special place in, like, some, like, you know, place of land in, like, Europe or something like that, and, like, just camping out, because that was, like, the only place that was going to be safe, supposedly, or something. And that was just like the world ending then, and that was just a handful of people. I mean, I'm not saying that aliens are going to end the world, but just the way citizens would take that and turn it around and manipulate it. And
and I think the government knows that. They actually have a document called Project Bluebeam, and what that states is they would set up a whole alien or UFO type sighting and scare the people with that in order to basically
create mass panic.
Yeah, mass panic, create martial law, and it's actually a real document that talks about that, which is pretty crazy. So they know the panic it could cause, and do they hide that kind of stuff from us? Who knows? That's one of the big things about.
Just don't know.
Well, didn't something come out recently about that? Like, I don't know if it's the United States or just some government, like a document came out with them, like what you said, Project Bluebeam, whatever.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam.
I think something recently came out about that, didn't it? Or is that?
Well, I know that they had. I can't remember the lady's name, but she was on the floor on the floor of the house, and she was talking about, you know, how we need to beef up money to help protect against that kind of thing, like extraterrestrials, and she actually stated it on the floor. So that's kind of something new that you don't see happen. So that kind of makes you weary. Are they trying to stage that Project Bluebeam? Or are they just...
Is there a real threat?
Or they know it's out there.
Now this was, what you said, Supreme Court? Or
yeah, this was on the House floor. I can't remember the... I'll look it up and I'll find out who it was, but I think it was a senator or something of that sort.
Right. That's crazy, man.
But yeah, with the kind of the subject of the government cover-ups as far as whether something happened or whether not, one of my favorite old stories of aliens, possible alien happening, possible not, is the Battle of Los Angeles. It's from it's February 26, 1942, which is also a kick-ass Rage Against the Machine album. It's titled Battle of Los Angeles as well.
Just
so you know.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
right.
There's a movie as well.
It was a terrible movie.
Yes,
though.
it was a terrible movie.
Terrible movie, fantastic Rage Against the Machine album, possible alien occurrence.
Well, that was one. I think that's one of the top alien type visits.
Well, because the Army, just off the coast, it was like right over Los Angeles, fired 15,000 rounds at something in the air over the course of hours and hours. It was right after the Pearl Harbor attack, like in war panic. So, but the government's saying, oh, it was a weather balloon.
Yeah.
How bad of shots do you have to be to take 15,000 rounds to take out a weather balloon? I mean, it should be bap, 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 pop. That thing's fucking gone. I mean, that's kind of, there shouldn't be any sort of like, I mean, but that's, they say they just sat there and shot, and there were lights in the sky as far as beams coming down on everything, and just never responded, never did anything until I guess it was completely gone out of the skyline. And this was back in the 40s, so they have like drawings and pictures on the old newspaper as far as.
Well, yeah, like the
but not
evidence
anything.
is,
I mean, of course, nothing like video. As far, I mean, now people would be snapping freaking.
Is that always the government's explanation? It's a weather balloon.
Yes.
I mean, what is
or
that?
Swamp gas.
Yeah, it's always some like, oh, well, that was just a weather balloon.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it was or not, we don't know. But it just seems like, why the hell would you shoot that many rounds of a weather balloon?
But you know,
have you ever seen a weather balloon out floating around in the sky? Any of y'all? Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they look like. I've never seen one.
Well, the thing is too, like, even if you maybe on video I could see that, but if you're there in person, you would think you would know that that's a weather balloon.
Well, do you think too now? Since you said the government always says weather balloon, swamp gas, something like that. Like back then, I mean, if this had happened now, everybody would have a video of that thing. I mean, there'd be 5,000 people sitting there taking videos on their phone of them shooting at whatever it was. Now, there's nothing ever like that. As far as, I mean, the big alien stories are like, this is from 42, Roswell was in the 60s. That's kind of, there's not the big, huge conspiracies coming out now. Would that be because these aliens know that we kind of have the technology now to capture them? Or just because it was all bullshit to begin with?
Or was it like, back then the government could do something like that and get away with it? Because there wasn't as much documentation as, say, now everybody has a cell phone with a camera, carries around some kind of recording device that could have got pictures of that. But now, the government's going to try to take care of it in a more discreet way, not draw attention to themselves.
Mm-hmm. Instead of going out guns blazing, like maybe it was even more of a thing back then they didn't understand. I mean, you're talking about like 42 in the middle of a war, they might have thought it was an attacking entity, and now since Roswell and stuff, they really are very familiar with what is out there, and just, of course, don't want us to know because of the panic or whatever it is. But so now if anything's recorded, they just, all of a sudden you wake up the next day, I got this awesome alien video on my phone. Fuck, my phone's fried. Why the hell did that happen?
Well, and that actually did happen again, that kind of sighting where thousands of people saw it. And that was in Phoenix, the Phoenix Lights. Have you seen that report?
I think
There's actually a photo
I've heard of it.
This is from the paper, and that looks legit as shit, man. And thousands of people saw
How long ago was that?
This was in 97, and they actually said what happened was it reappeared in 2007 and 2008. So this is not just a one-time occurrence. It happened again.
And it's like the whole town.
No, this is thousands of people that saw this. This
Mm-hmm.
isn't just one or two people. I mean, you're going to have to discount thousands of people by saying this was not there. I mean, there's tons of photos of this Phoenix Lights phenomenon.
And it was there for a while, too. It says, the photo you have, it says it was for 106 minutes.
That's a long time.
It was flying. Like people seen it. 106. That's in what an hour?
That's an
over
hour.
An hour and a half. Hour and 40?
And if you think if that was let's say it was a government type thing from Area 51 or whatever, and they're trying to hide it, why would they have it hovering over a town for so long?
Yeah,
maybe to see what that would cause, if it would cause mass panic.
That's possible. That's possible.
So by Project Bluebeam, that's in their head. They know that.
Yeah.
They thought about that. So. But, I mean, the pictures of this thing are crisp.
And some people, I believe that there's, like, documentation of the government trying to actually build some sort of, whether or not it's like a flying saucer or something that would look more alien to us and make people believe, like, in the Project Bluebeam, to actually use to cause mass panic.
Right. Well, I mean, they talk about a lot of times in, Hitler Germany, a lot of people say that there was some kind of alien type thing with the bell, and that a lot of people talk about that's where they got a lot of their technology from. And then whenever we brought it over from, what was it, Operation Ajax, I believe it was, where we brought a lot of their top scientists over, they say a lot of it, they learned a lot from extraterrestrials. Whether that's true or not,
I say
who
especially
knows?
our flying is like, we went from, like the just airline, as far as when we first started flying, how quick we advanced to like fighter jets and things like that, and a lot of people attribute that to alien technology that started as far as pretty much taking that stuff from them.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry, that was Operation Paperclip, not Ajax. That was my bad.
They got to come up with some better names. Ajax, that's some
Ajax.
sink cleaner and.
Hey, we're using Ajax to catch gnats.
Operation Brillo Pad.
Ah.
Hey.
That's right. That's what we'll do. Operation Apple Cider Vinegar is what we're going on that right now, trying to catch all the gnats.
That's some high level
in this
stuff.
damn
Too.
stuff.
You know what a gnat is?
Top security
Yeah,
clearance.
Yeah, we're
Absolutely
probably the
terrible.
only ones that even know what the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
A
If
gnat?
I don't know if
Arkansas.
gnats are up north. I
Who
mean,
knows, man? People are surprised there's a cow.
Well, that's people, certain people.
Well, we
Surprised
live
by
in
the
a.
cow.
Yeah, my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hmm.
who knows?
Who does know?
Not the people that don't know about a cow.
That's right.
I don't know.
Or the ones who think like raccoons are some kind of wild animal.
Savage beast.
Savage beast will murder your whole population.
So what if the aliens are? What if they decided to come take over? Like that's the whole end game. Like people that talk about it, they're talking about them coming over and taking over and killing everybody. I mean,
We're done. Unless I think. I mean, if aliens have been flying around space and for who knows how long, and they come to attack us. I mean, if they got the science and or the I don't know
I mean, if they can float
technology, right? That to do all that they would. I mean, they could. I'm surprised they can't press a button and just disintegrate the damn planet. I mean, that's a lot of
Yeah.
movies, but
well, yeah, but if you look at a lot of these reports, I
But
mean,
that's movie technology too, to go
Exactly.
across worlds to and
I mean-
galaxies to.
yeah, you see these things, and all of a sudden, like in a blink of an eye, they're gone. I mean, how that we don't have any technology.
yeah,
like that.
I just don't see us being able to put up a good fight against them when we're still like dealing with TSA agents at the damn airport. And
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
unless we
same.
find out that those dudes are just fucking terrified of like baseball bats and stuff like that. That
like
they're like
signs,
just,
they don't like
right,
water.
that sort of thing. You just spray them like Joaquin
for that.
Phoenix
Well,
hitting
because
them with
they're
freaking
small.
baseball bats. That's all that.
Most reports are like little tiny guys.
Like
so I
the
wouldn't be scared of
Nightcrawler.
that. Oh, that Nightcrawler's
Oh,
scary.
the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Wait,
That thing's
hold on,
freaking scary.
Oh, tell me about the Nightcrawler.
The Fresno Nightcrawler.
It is.
This one dude had his security footage back in Fresno, California, was in his backyard. He caught an image of this thing they estimated was about 3.5 foot tall. It's just all arms, like little flappy arms next to it, and then just all legs. There's like no torso to it whatsoever. And fact or faked, when they came out actually to this guy's house and tried to recreate it with a kid, tried to recreate it with this one suit that they said they saw in a circus, as far as that was very similar to that, like the clowns with the real tall legs. They couldn't even come close. I mean, there wasn't anything they did that even somewhat resembled this little guy walking around. Now, you take from that, you go to Yosemite National Park. Old totem poles from the Native American community that lived in that area look exactly like these motherfuckers. I mean, I'm talking to the T as far as, and they are all surrounding an area of Yosemite Park that is not available for the public, which is very uncommon for a national park. Most of the time you can go wherever you want to, as far as, I mean, they don't want you getting lost in there, of course, but there's not like trails specifically outside of certain parts of it. This area is completely off limit to all visitors, and it's just these totem poles look so much like these little Nightcrawler guys.
By the way, Chase has goosebumps.
This is killing me out
I am
right
a
now.
storyteller. And on top of that, but they are scary little dudes.
You should be reading Aesop's fables right now. Oh,
Like
son of a
Homer?
bitch.
And
I don't even know what
Iliad,
those were. I remember that like in kindergarten.
It's like the tortoise and the hare and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, terrible story.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Goosebumps,
Not
man.
about not about aliens at all.
So
No,
hey, I
not
got
R.L. Stein.
I've actually got the video. Check this out. I'm gonna let Chase see it.
But yeah,
gonna turn
they
it
are
on.
freaky little guys.
Let me get to the part here.
That's some scary.
This is probably terrible for a podcast, but
Yeah.
I really don't care. 'cause
Y'all-
you
They're
just-
watching a video,
Y'all should really see this video.
leaving you guys. We'll probably put it somewhere, maybe where you can see it.
It's
Maybe-
probably going to be one of
maybe
those
not.
videos where it doesn't show shit. It just talks about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Google it.
No, wait, here he is. Check it out.
Yeah, watch out for that little fucker. He'll come get you.
It's almost like he's all legs, though. Like he looks nothing like an alien that anybody's ever described.
He doesn't look vicious. He looks like he's just out there, like, I mean, he looks like if he walked by and there was like a dog in the backyard, he'd play with him for a while, like kind of just like.
looks
"Hey,
like
what's-"
honestly, it looks like the dog would chew that son of a bitch up.
Yeah, I think dog could probably take him down.
He doesn't look like he can do much unless he's like Jet Li with his kicking.
You gotta watch out. I mean, he's kind of dressed like a kung fu man, so
Got a pretty good reach.
he might
on it.
take you down. Yeah. He's
Anderson Silva, the alien.
Oh.
Anderson Silva.
maybe that's the race
Except
he
he-
comes from.
He don't need to be breaking his leg. You see?
Poor
it?
Anderson Silva.
That's crazy.
He is dumbfounded and flabbergasted.
I will say,
Gotta
yes.
love that alien music we just
No,
had going
I've
on.
never seen nothing like that. I can't tell you that I've, been out in the woods and seen something. Oh, that was an alien. I've never seen nothing like that. But I have, like, like, I'm not gonna say I've seen a UFO, but like, there's been times. I mean, out here, look at the stuff. I mean, big sky and stuff.
Yeah, because we live out in the middle
We
of
live
nowhere.
out in the middle of
basically.
nowhere.
With
so, I mean,
little pollution covering up the sky
little
so we can actually
pollution,
see
you
stuff.
stars, you see. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, there's been times when I'm just like, I see that moving through the sky, but it's so high. I mean, you can't tell what it is. But I mean, you don't. I mean, you don't know. There's been times where I'm just like, there's no way that could be a plane. There's no way that could be a helicopter. I mean, it could be a satellite. I mean, there's so much out there that it could be. But who's to say all those times
That
it wasn't
is-
a UFO? It wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it could.
Well, it's
That made me. I'm a firm believer. I'm with this.
In the Nightcrawler,
Fresno
the Fresno alien, also
Well,
known as the
that was
Nightcrawler.
crazy.
well, it's kind of like if you're gonna fake it, why do you make it look like that? That's
Yeah.
so weird
Yeah, like
looking. you
everybody
know?
has the picture of the aliens with big head, big black eyes,
Right, you have your
Mhm.
prototypical alien. This thing looks absolutely. It's.
But I mean,
nothing
maybe
like
that's
that.
what you need to make people believe in aliens.
Well, yeah, but
Maybe.
that could have been, the whole big head, big eyes. That could have been a comic book from the 1903.
Right.
That was the first thing that people seen, and
Somebody
they just went
popped
from
in their
there.
head, yeah.
Yeah, so if a crazy person's making up an alien, they're probably gonna make it along those lines.
Going to be exactly the same testimonies. Oh, he had big eyes
Which
and
probably
little gray man.
95% of them are fake as hell.
Yeah.
And they're, just nut jobs out there wanting some kind of a publicity over saying they saw an alien, and they stick with it the rest of their life, it seems like. But there's probably, another 5% that actually do see them.
Oh yeah, I
I'm a
think there's
believer, man.
definitely
I am a believer.
But yeah, that video of the Fresno alien. I mean, that is
y'all gotta check that
as
out.
far as
That's
legitness
crazy.
goes. I've
pretty
never
legit
I've
looking.
never seen anything, and I mean they could not, like on Fact or Fake, their whole goal of the show to plug a show that hasn't been made in 5 years and was on for like 4 episodes, but hey, I liked it. It was I mean the whole thing was they took these videos or pictures or whatever and tried to disprove them.
And most
Was
of the time
some-
did.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Some dude who was retired FBI agent, that was pretty much, I guess, what he got his jollies from, as far as that would try to disprove them. And usually they could, because most of the stuff is not true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that one, I mean, they didn't even come close.
Isn't that the show that had the episode with like the swing that kept swinging with nobody ever pushing it?
Yes, that is
Yes.
it.
Okay.
And wasn't it like
Like-
on some kind of
like-
certain spot on the earth that actually would swing? And
Yeah, like the tilt of it was just
That was
off
pretty
and-
crazy looking,
Yeah.
man. It really was.
That
It looked like you're driving
that's
up.
weird.
Looked like you were driving up a hill.
Mhm.
Like you would put the car on neutral and it would go up the hill, but it was actually going down the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Pretty cool.
Well, there's places in the planet with a high magnetic frequency too. I saw that it was in another town right outside of Juneau in Alaska that you can you're on a certain, if you put a little magnetic vortex in between two people standing about 3 foot from each other, their heights will vastly be different from, like, if I was looking across at somebody and they were shorter than me, they would look about 7 feet tall, and to me they would look, and on the other side I'd look much shorter. And you switch places, it's the same thing as far as it doesn't actually take your own height into account.
It
It's
just messes with your perception.
Yep,
That is crazy. I need to
craziness
start
indeed.
taking notes in here, man. Y'all are teaching me all kinds of stuff.
Reading is fundamental.
It is. I ain't got time.
Well, that's what happens when you type in top 10 alien things. You realize it.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
No, I mean it's an interesting subject, and I think it's fun to talk about.
It's definitely interesting, and I think with all the evidence throughout who knows when the first sighting, a documented sighting was, but I mean, it had to be what, like 80 years, something like that.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up though.
But I mean, it's just like that. All the evidence, all the different people, all the that there's got to be something else out there. Whether what's true. I mean, granted, I do believe a lot of it's going to be bullshit, but some of it can't.
Well, I'd say, I mean, it says here that it's 1639 by a guy named
16th, I was way off.
It doesn't even. I
Couple
don't even see it
hundred
here,
years.
but I mean, if you look at even in what book Ezekiel, it talks about this spherical shaped object coming down from the sky, and it sounds like an alien, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be back then what they were misinterpreting as God could have been an alien sighting or whatever the case may be. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I was thinking like, you know, the 30s or something, but no, y'all had like 16.
But even
What did you say?
1639?
1639? That's
1639.
goodness, 200 years.
But yeah, what we do understand about the universe, of course, that we know how far it reaches out as far as that we're just a small galaxy in the entire universe. I mean, to think that we're alone is kind of that's always the argument as far as for aliens, but really it is kind of insane to think that out of the whole galaxy, the whole universe, we're the only thing, the only type of life, when every time we go further and further in our research, we find more signs of life would be able to inhabit this planet. Life, small microorganisms are in this on Mars, whatever it is, as far as that. I mean, we see evidence of life now, and we're actually before we didn't, now we're actually starting to see
Well, I
some
think
of those.
it'd be very naive to think, just to say, we're the only thing in this world.
Yeah, that's
it is. I mean, how can we say there's not? And it's hard to believe that there wouldn't be, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's other little organisms that are out there that are living. So
that we didn't think 30 years ago was possible. That
we didn't think 10 years ago or 15 years ago we could pick up a little cell phone and talk to somebody in Africa.
Yeah, I
by
mean,
imaginary waves going, or little you can't even see these little waves going through telephone wires.
Yeah, plugged into the wall, man.
The fiber optics and
30 years ago, what you carry around in your pocket in the cell phone would have filled up a whole room.
Oh,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
kind of, and what you got twice the power going on now. Now it's like, I don't have full HD video on my phone. Throw that thing in the fucking trash, man.
Well, I mean, what a phone does now. I mean, back in, let's say, the 60s, how big of a computer would that have been?
They're supercomputers,
That
and
would
I
have
mean,
been
and
massive.
even they're 5 times what a supercomputer would have been back in the 60s. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I think it's naive to think that. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of nuts out there, but there's probably a lot of validity to it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, I mean, I've heard you talk about like some crazy things like out in which I don't know if they're alien related, but I think what is that big meeting where that's probably a topic for another show, but that they do in like the Redwood Forest or whatever.
Oh, the Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove,
where all the big elites meet at. It's out in, I think it's Redwoods, California, I believe.
Yeah, I remember reading something about.
But they
some
go out there and
redwoods.
meet, and there's all kinds of conspiracies where there's like some kind of alien agenda, and there's all kinds of stuff like that.
Do weird rituals and stuff, like burn plastic dolls of babies and stuff like that, all sorts of effigies.
That's real. I mean, that's not
made up. Bohemian Grove. They got pictures.
I mean, there's pictures of that stuff, and
so,
there's a lot of like apparently the politicians are having gay sex and all kinds of weird.
I've seen video evidence of reporters asking people about it, like confronting them about it, and then them just like completely changing their attitude, completely like ignoring the question and just like walking off or whatever the case may be.
Buttoned up businessmen, captains of industry getting all fighting mad at somebody all of a sudden, as far as like to where they have an answer for every question you can possibly ask them, but then all of a sudden they're like,
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, they get all. Well, I mean, obviously they're getting defensive about something. I mean, if you look at some of the photos, they're out there dancing around in white robes, look like, or some kind of, or maybe they're red robes. I don't know. It looks like some kind of Ku Klux Klan type deal.
Yeah, Native Americans.
Native Americans, and they're burning babies and all these crazy little sacrifices. So that's some weird stuff.
Oh yeah, same as the Bilderberg group too. That was just was very recent as far as that was.
Well, I mean that's been going on for a long time, but basically it's all your big elites across the world. They meet at one certain area. It might be last year was the UK. I think this year it might be in Connecticut, but they meet and talk about obviously agendas and what they want to plan out for the world.
Why is it
the upcoming year?
I have no clue.
Just to get it might be Connecticut.
I mean, I like Connecticut. It's
Okay.
not bad.
I just
I
didn't
went
know
there
if you
last
had-
year, but it doesn't seem like you would meet in Connecticut.
Hartford is
And I
where
could be
it might
completely
Connecticut.
off. I just heard about it. It may not be where they're having it. I'm not too sure, but I know they've had it in the U.S. quite a bit.
Right.
And it's definitely weird kind of stuff. And
maybe we should all just go there and kind of crash the party.
I would love that.
At the very
I would
least, we
do
can
it.
go to the WWE Hall of Fame while we're there too.
Ben's like, I'll go, but we got to
Just
stop
come in
here
like,
first.
I want my picture taken with Andre the Giant's corpse.
We're going WWE. Fake wrestling. Boom.
Hey, if we're gonna talk about like possible fake aliens, possible fake conspiracies, might as well get some fake wrestling going on in there too. I mean, hell.
Broke
I
my
don't know.
heart when I found out it was fake. broke my heart. I was like 11.
Yeah, with Ultimate.
It was WWF back then.
Yeah, it was WWF. And then what was it, like the whale?
No, the
Federation
World
or something?
Wildlife Foundation sued them, which really for like domain, it was all about website domain name, which
That was
WWF had it
huge in the
trademarked
90s.
first. So, but the government, since World Wildlife Foundation gets a lot of government assistance and things like that, they made the World Wrestling Federation change to World Wrestling Entertainment.
Right.
And pretty much admit that it was fake, which ruined children like Chase.
That was the end of my childhood.
Because he was sitting there hoping Stone Cold Steve Austin would come beat up all the bullies in his school.
Yeah,
Man,
he'd
what-
come out there with his beer cans and
Yeah,
his fire hose. With
You must have
beer.
went in a hardcore school if you needed all that.
Huh?
Hey, actually, speaking of Stone Cold, you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it is my favorite.
Okay, Stone Cold, he has that show on TV. You know Barry, Jason's friend?
Yeah,
Barry? He was on there last week.
Oh,
He
really?
was on the Skull Crusher, and he gets he's going against some freaking brute looking dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's not the most muscular looking dude. He's
No.
a little chubby guy, you know. And he gets out there and he looks the guy in his eyes and he takes his shirt and throws it at him. He's like, "Well, you're going down, buddy." And he gets his ass kicked.
Well, that's the local boy that went, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a local guy.
Michael
Okay, see,
Berry.
I was
Michael
watching
Berry,
that.
yeah.
Nice guy.
I was watching that not too long ago. I was over at my
Skull
girlfriend's.
Crusher Ranch. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah, like Steve Austin's Skull Crusher.
Yeah.
or,
Yep, that's it.
Whatever. But that place, what was it? The one I watched, it had some old man, and I was told that was the guy, that was the local guy or whatever.
No.
He's probably. I would say he's in his probably mid-30s.
Yeah,
maybe.
if that even.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as that's the...
well, I say old. I mean, this competition is. I mean, what would you say? Like, I mean, this the toughest of the tough.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
they're
kinda
trying
like
to pretty much say.
Like a mix between maybe like a CrossFit meets badass kind of
Yeah, just
thing. It's like
Super
agility,
extreme
strength,
CrossFit kind of thing.
you know, just kind of crazy stuff.
all
they
the
do.
stuff that Stone Cold himself will not be doing because
seen
he's
him
an
do a damn thing on
alcoholic
that show,
and he
yeah.
has like 5 neck surgeries on
Honestly,
his
it
belt,
looks
so...
a little bit like Road Rules versus Real World.
The gauntlet or whatever.
It looks
yeah.
like the Gauntlet. Like he completely ripped that shit off. I mean,
Why not? Nobody else is using it.
but back to Michael Berry. I mean, he comes in and like nobody really does the whole wrestler kind of skit type thing, and dude, he goes right into it.
Hey, you gotta respect him for sticking with it.
I
mean,
did. I
that's-
mean, he went right at that guy and just talked all kinds of shit and did not back it up.
gave him the Hulk Hogan finger point and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
But I respected him. Even though he lost, it was just, you know, he made it interesting. I was excited to
Absolutely.
see the whole.
He got his ass kicked on national television.
So
He did.
You gotta
He did.
respect him.
that was our local boy, fellas.
Yeah, that's Harris Arkansas.
That's right.
Whoop whoop.
Congratulations.
But no,
Michael
back
Berry.
to you know what we need to do? We need to go to what was the one we were talking about? Not Comic Con, but the
VidCon.
we need to go to VidCon.
Yes, but it won't be for like another year. It's
Where-
near Comic Con though. So,
When is VidCon?
like, I think it's like in the middle of summer sometime. But so is Comic
Look
Con,
it
I
up.
believe.
What is this?
What is VidCon? I do not know.
Yeah.
It's
Explain
kind of like
VidCon.
it's kind of like a I guess like YouTube channels and like just people that do
Videos.
videos,
Okay.
which is coming soon to Mansanity as well. But it's just where they get together, everybody talks, you know, has meetings and stuff like that, you know.
So is it more like a booth type expo type of?
Kind of
Because that's how Comic Con is, right?
Yeah. Except for just a whole bunch of people walking around and
Well, yeah,
Crazy
I mean,
outfits.
yeah, it's probably like like an expo where you can go see like the new and upcoming stuff,
and you can advertise your
Those things are
channel
always
and
cool.
stuff.
I mean, we
think
go
it'd be
into
fun
a
to go
lot
to
of
both of
expos, and
Yeah,
obviously ours are kind of
more fitness oriented.
yeah, right. So they're all pretty much the same. But I mean, as far we don't have no like fancy. I don't think I'd be down. I'd be down to go to Comic Con too. Y'all want to?
Yeah,
Comic-Con
would be awesome.
You know?
I think it would be cool to go to Comic Con.
I think
mean,
it's awesome.
it'd be really
Most
cool
of
to.
the YouTubers go to Comic Con anyways.
I would like to set up a booth at the Comic Con. I think it would be
Hey,
that
really
would be
cool, and
awesome.
it's in L.A., I believe.
They
right?
got the
so is
Conway
VidCon.
Con
San
or
Diego.
whatever.
Oh, it's in. Yeah, you're right. San
So is
Diego.
VidCon, though,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think VidCon's kind of like the same area.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Comic Con since I was like 6 years old.
So let's say we need to find out when Comic Con is.
I think it just passed.
Yeah,
we
son
just
of a-
passed
it's usually
it.
in like August.
Like August.
Okay,
yeah.
well that's okay. Though.
So,
So
I
by
think VidCon's like after it.
so by the time the Comic Con comes out, the next expo,
Mm.
we'll have probably
2015.
We're doing 2 podcasts a week, so we're probably gonna have about 100.
yeah.
That's a perfect time to go.
That
Yeah.
is.
Or
So,
Yeah, meet up
100th
with some.
anniversary. We'll do it on site.
and Ben, are you gonna be wearing the question mark mask? By that time?
I may switch to Spider-Man for Comic-Con specifically.
Yeah, but you can be your
Get the
own like.
full outfit. Or you could be Darth Vader, like the full outfit with the voice
You
change.
can't hide your beard though.
Yeah,
No,
but
be
if you go
proud
with the
of
question,
beard.
if you go with the question mark, people might think you're the Riddler, dude.
I don't want to be the Riddler.
If you have a question mark in your face,
He
It makes
gets
sense.
all it takes is like one backhand from Batman, and he's done, man.
That
Whatever
guy
his
sucks.
little scheme is that he had hatched can go on for comic after comic and comic, and then as soon as the physical confrontation, that's it.
I'm gonna go with
Bye-bye,
Zak
Riddler.
Bagans, that Ghost Venture guy.
Oh, also back to the wrestling.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna go with that guy.
He's a failed professional wrestler.
I'm
Zak
gonna
Bagans.
act like I see ghosts all the time.
And yell at them.
By
Hey,
the way, we need to
fucking
get him
ghost, go
on,
over.
after I just insulted the guy. Let's get him on the show.
Yes, Zach Bagans, would you like to be on our show?
Let's get him on.
Didn't he host didn't he host some dumbass
Ghost
show
Adventure.
before? Is that?
The Ghost Adventure.
Well, I've seen
That's
that one.
who-
That one's absolutely terrible. But didn't
Yeah.
he have an even worse one before that one?
He's never coming on
Yeah.
the show.
I don't know what he had. What did he have?
He's a big boy too. You might.
Well, I'm little as shit,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I'm screwed anyway. So whatever.
Hey, we'll gang up on his ass.
That's right.
Wolfpack.
Are we really gonna ask this guy to come on the show?
Well, he's not going to.
I don't care. I'm gonna ask him just so I can see the
Just
letter
tell him
back.
he cannot listen to this episode.
Well, don't even bring this episode up. It's about aliens. He ain't gonna think we're talking about ghosts.
So what I'm gonna tell him is like, hey, we want you to come on the show, and if you don't, I'm gonna bring that guy from Ghost Hunters and beat your ass
That dude looks like he could.
because you copied that shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
religiously.
I mean,
Well, there's like 4 of them out there now.
Yeah,
aren't
there's
there?
tons
like
of
a bunch.
shows.
four. There's like probably 400.
Yeah. There's
There's the
bunch of
ghost,
shows.
the haunted collector, where he just
What
finds.
is that?
Oh, he's some old dude with a.
Collects haunted items.
Well, he goes to your
so
house.
he gets like
And,
dolls and stuff.
Like you'll
that.
say, I got a ghost in my house, and he'll bullshit crawl underneath your house and go, oh, there was a firearm underneath there with blood on it. That's what the ghost was from. It's a murder weapon. And I'm like, take it to the police, but he puts it in some fucking showroom that he has in his house. He's like, here, I've locked it away so the spirits can't get out. I'm like, what about the person that was murdered? How
So
about we
basically,
deal
he's
something
copying.
with that?
Have you seen The Conjuring?
Yeah.
I just got it through Amazon actually today, but I have not watched it
I
yet.
kind of like it. It's about it's kind of like true events with Lorraine Warren. You know, the one that she was a lady that she was like a big psychic ghost hunter type person, and she
Was
she
she
was
hot?
big in the hell no. She was the she looks scary.
That's
like,
a
she
shame.
looks possessed.
No, it
Anyway.
is creepy.
Yeah, but she so anyway, she had the whole Amityville. She investigated that whole story, and now it's The Conjuring, where there's just like this doll, and apparently wherever this doll goes, all these kind of crazy things happen, and it's kind of similar to Amityville.
Sounds like a job for the haunted collector, though.
But yeah, he copied that.
Well,
he
he's
just
not
needs
on
to
the
go
air
get that
anymore.
doll and put it in a special little case that he.
Well, and that's the thing.
and he needs to
is-
start marketing them.
Well,
cases
she even
too.
has
That-
a special
yeah.
case.
Well, that's the thing. She has a case for this doll and other items, and it says the only thing she has in her little area, like her collection area, which basically this guy, pretty much copied. She has that doll, and it says "Do not touch" for any reason. The only thing in there, do not touch this thing.
Do not
It's
open
so
it
haunted.
or anything, yeah.
Well, the funny thing about that haunted collector was, honest to goodness, the first few episodes you watched really did seem legit. Because he'd go in there and he'd be like, I couldn't find shit. I'm sorry. I looked all over the place and I couldn't find it. Then all of a sudden they kind of turned the corner where you can tell he's getting shit planted there. He's getting stuff like, oh, miraculously this door opened and there's a set of teeth that's giving off some bad juju, I guess that
Yeah,
would
and
be
the families
probably
lived there for
the
like
technical
30
term.
years or something.
Right.
The technical term is probably bad juju. I don't know what the actual.
That's probably not the technical term.
Well, it's not like,
Scientific.
and the thing about ghosts, like I firmly believe in those. I've had some experiences.
Oh, yeah.
But
Me too.
however, it's like if you have a ghost show and you find a ghost, great. Now, if you have like a Bigfoot show, like finding Bigfoot, always people always pick on them. Like, oh, you're never gonna find the guy. If they found it, it'd be over, wouldn't it? Wouldn't the show just end?
Yeah,
I
they were-
found them.
My grandpa, he's a huge Bigfoot. Every time I walk in there, he's watching them hunt Bigfoot down, and every time I just ask him, "They found him yet?" Yeah. I know the answer. I mean, I watch it too. I like Bigfoot, but the show would not only would that show end, but all the other 8 shows that are out there trying to catch Bigfoot, they would all end. 'Cause
Oh,
they-
yeah.
Which is the same as the aliens too, as far as like with the extraterrestrials. If anybody caught some real good footage, or anybody had like actually the whole thing besides the pan, which is kind of crazy. If somebody walked up and had Bigfoot, everybody just be like, "Yeah, Bigfoot's real." But if somebody's like, "Oh, there's an alien," they'd be like, "Oh, fuck, they're gonna kill us." As
Yeah,
far as
Mars
I mean,
attacks.
Mars attacks. Oh,
No,
That was such
then
a
there would be a
badass
show
movie.
Yeah.
called Finding Bigfoot 2.
Finding Bigfoot, too.
Finding big feet, as far as we need to.
We gotta find more. We found one. We gotta mate them.
You gotta find the baby Bigfoot.
I think
The
Bigfoot's
juvenile
real.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
The male
Well,
and
hey,
female.
when Jeff Meldrum comes on, I'm telling you guys, this
That's
guy
right.
is like legit.
Very
we are
excited.
probably gonna look like idiots.
Well, they have
I'm gonna
like,
look like a
Oh,
total
yeah.
moron. As long as I don't insult him like I do Zak Bagans.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm picking a fight with Zak Bagans.
well,
we're gonna
Which
get
you
This guy's gonna
are.
kick my
You're
ass.
absolutely picking a fight with Zak Bagans, and I want to see this fight. As far as we have our video up by then, we will have Dustin whooping Tane on Zak Bagans.
What in this
or,
black room? In this black.
No, we
it's
can.
padded, so
We'll
I won't be able to see
We'll
him.
rent
We'll
a
go
boxing
I won't be
ring.
able to see
rent
the
a
guy. He
ring.
dresses like a goth buff dude.
No, we'll rent a wrestling ring for this, and he can go back and cut his promos because that's
Okay.
that's what he knows.
sign his autograph.
And then you can show him
Who's
show him
boss?
the way of the Lord. I don't know as
We,
far as what else to
apparently,
call it.
we
But
really do not like this guy.
I don't even know if I don't really like him.
I don't even know who the guy is.
I think if you
Just
were a
talking shit.
ghost and you're a restless spirit, you don't need some steroidal dude yelling at you. And that's kind of he like points at me. He's like, "Hey, ghost over there, get out of this house!"
Yeah, he always gets.
And that's like that. He gets all mad and
So
uppity with
hostile.
the ghost. Yeah, I mean
he always
they're
gets
kind of
like-
people too.
Yeah, he gets possessed in a lot.
By
I
anger,
mean,
he gets
guess-
possessed by side effects from steroid abuse. Probably is more often than not what
I
happens.
have seen that show, and I do like watching them because I get really into like the history of the show. It's not so much as like what he's talking about, but it's more or less like
the first part of the show is awesome.
yeah,
I'll
where
give
they're
him
like
that.
that we're going to this asylum that's been shut down for 60 years, and then they bring you in and show, and that place that's cool as crap, man.
Yeah,
I
those
wanna go-
old. You know what we do? We got to become Zak Bagans one day, but not him because he's kind of goofy and shit.
It's our own version, but
And we won't
Right.
lie to you too.
We won't
if there's
lie to
no
you. If we
ghost,
don't
we'll just
find
say,
them,
there's no ghost.
but there's
Too bad.
nothing to say just because there's no ghost. There's nothing to say that it's not going to be super scary, you know.
Oh.
Like there's
If I type in this guy's name, that's what pulls up. Good
you are
lord,
in trouble, buddy.
son of a bitch.
He's
Those
gonna take
glasses,
you
I'm
down.
done.
He's gonna rock
So,
bottom you
so
all
we're
over
gonna
the
start
place.
doing expeditions now, huh? Go asylums.
I got a
finding
website
Bigfoot.
that's got all kinds of crazy stuff in the Ozarks that we can go check out.
So could we
I
once
think we need to-
we have the video equipment, could we actually do that? Could do like a little
Yeah.
ghost hunting type
Sure, why not?
episode? I mean,
Why not?
I'm down. I might get scared, but I won't get
Run
scared of
away.
Zak Bagans.
We'll run out of the woods crying. It's all right.
If anything, you'll see a lot of video that'll make you motion sick because we'll be running and a lot of girlish screams
It may
behind
not
us. So
be
that might be
scary,
good stuff.
but it
Who
will
Well, I
knows?
be
might be
very
cutting out all
funny,
the girl
very
screams,
humorous for
but-
the customers or consumers or whatever.
Can we act like we get possessed and make a?
No, that's fake, man. We can't be Zach.
No, you gotta be real.
We gotta be real.
real.
But
man.
Zach does it.
Well, but
That's
This
what we're
Zach
talking shit
doesn't.
about Zach, though.
This Zach doesn't. So
But what? Well, I mean,
I can take that part out too.
well, yeah.
thanks.
So anyway, back to the aliens. I think
Yes.
I'm actually done with the aliens. I just got on Zak Bagans. I'm just
Yeah, I mean,
I'm off, man.
He has called him out.
I have absolutely.
far
I've
as
called.
so, the
I'm call-
hammer has been
actually,
thrown down.
Hold on a second, Zak
Uh-huh.
Bagans. I'm calling your ass out.
Oh.
I
For
want to
what?
go. I want to go. I guarantee I can find more ghosts than some bitch.
So we are doing a ghost hunting competition with Zak Bagans. How will this be measured?
By how many ghosts you find?
about how many ghosts you find.
Are we going to have a
Only,
little meter? As far as Dustin has found 4 ghosts, Zak Bagans has found 3. And who's going to control the meter?
I'll do it.
Are you
got-
unbiased?
No, I'm not.
You're
no,
not
yeah,
unbiased.
no, that's my
You'll be
cousin,
like,
so I'll
you'll be like,
definitely
Dustin
be like,
found 14 already.
I feel like Luigi in Luigi's Mansion. You know, the ghost. I mean,
That's right. You're going to have the little spectrometer sucking up all the ghosts.
A spectrometer.
That's
Yeah.
a real
I think that's
tool,
what it
right?
was called.
Spectrometer?
I think that's what it was called in Luigi's Mansion 2. Awesome game. Love that
I
thing.
didn't play that
Be
one.
like
No,
Ghostbusters
what is
and
the,
have the big backpack that sucks them up.
I've went ghost hunting one time and I had the
Poltergeist
little,
5000. That's what it was called in Luigi's Mansion.
No. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, mine's not called that. It's just called like a.
Oh,
what the hell is
okay.
that called? Like an
Well, you have the
EFT
real one.
meter or what?
You have the real
You
one,
have
not
the real-
Luigi's
not
one.
Luigi's.
Yeah, I don't have the. I don't have the real one, and it's like a. I can't think of what it's called. It measures like
EVT?
EKG?
EK?
No, wait.
No, that's like
what the
something in a
fuck? Yeah,
hospital.
that's a hospital.
Man, Zak Bagans gonna whoop my ass. I have no.
Oh,
clue.
yeah.
Well, we just need to study up before he shows up. That's all. That's all it is.
I'm gonna have my infrared camera.
And we are going to have to find out because really the way the gauntlet's kind of been thrown down, it almost seems like there's going to be some fighting going on
Yeah, and he's
instead
got
of
sponsors. So, hey,
Do you? Hey,
got that donate
Can
button.
I mean, look at this. Look at this pretty man.
He's kind of big.
He's a big dude, but those
Hey.
glasses are messed up.
Hey, look, I've learned that
He might
pictures
not
can
even
be
need 'em.
deceiving. There's some monsters in a lot of the fitness shows that we go to, and then you walk.
They're
up to them
4
and
feet
they're-
tall.
They're 4 foot tall. They would still break me.
300
down.
pounds, but 4 feet
Hey,
tall.
We can't. I'm telling you, we can't have a black canvas. We can't have black because this guy.
He's,
No, we're
gone.
gonna have
Oh,
to.
he's wearing an affliction shirt, so you're damn sure
You're
in
going
trouble.
down.
You were going
That
down.
shirt costs $115 and makes him look like a tool.
Well,
and
you
he
know
does not
knows
care.
all kinds of
It's
jiu-jitsu.
affliction. So that
Oh
means
yeah.
he's a tap out king.
I mean, besides Randy Couture, he is one of the finest fighters ever to wear an affliction shirt.
And I just look at him,
That's
and I
why
feel
he
like
goes
he's just a
nuts.
complete douche.
Well, you've seen this. I mean,
You got some mad hate going on. Ooh, that one is kind of stupid. He's
And
like,
you know what's bad? I really don't. I don't hate the show. I just hate. I just hate.
we're still watching
I
the
just
show.
hate
We're
Zach.
like, wow, we
I mean,
hate
I'm
you.
giving him ratings.
is
I
there
don't know
anybody
what-
else on the show?
Yeah, there's
Yeah, there's-
Aaron, and there's. Hey, Zach and I watched the show. Don't get me wrong. I watched the show, but you're a douche. That's all there is to it.
So the hammer has been
that's
thrown
why they're
down.
leaving him in charge of it because people just can't turn the channel because he's so douchey.
That might be the case.
So the
I mean,
hammer
look
has
at
been
him.
thrown down. Dustin from
Is he like-
Manssanity versus Zak Bagans in some kind of ghost hunting, boxing, professional wrestling competition. That
Listen,
we're
I'm not
gonna
really
do here.
wanting. I'm not really wanting to box. I want to do a professional ghost hunt with this guy. And I want to show him up.
What about the wrestling?
What now?
You know
What if
who
he
he-
calls us and says,
What-
"Hey,
what
I'm
kind
going
of-
to this place. Now y'all show up here."
My
We
ass
will be there.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
How
If
far?
he-
Across the country, no matter what. If he calls and says, "I am in Fresno right now hunting that little fucking Fresno alien,"
Zach,
you get on
if you're-
out here.
If you're in Fresno and you're hunting the what'd you just say?
Little fucking Fresno
the
alien.
little fucking Fresno alien. I'm
That's
down.
his-
I'm
that's,
coming out
again,
there.
scientific term.
I might have to make a business stop.
Yeah.
But I'll.
At the
Be
at,
there.
at a rest stop to.
Hey, if you call me out, I'll be there.
That's right.
Well, that's
so there we
pretty good. I
go.
just realized there's Stonehenge in the background of this picture.
God, he's been to some cool places. Man, this guy's like
He's got
actually.
sponsors.
He's
I'm
actually
like-
really cool.
Well, he
I
gets
know
paid
it's
to
kind
do
of
this stuff.
we got a
don't.
little love-hate thing going on with Zak Bagans right now. We're like, we watch the show all the time. It's amazing. We love it, but
But
we
deep-
want to.
but
Dustin
deep-
wants to beat you up.
But deep down, I'm trying to call him out so I can meet him. Maybe.
Wait, you know
That
who
might
you
be
know who
not
he
good.
reminds me of? You ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? I'm not. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I've
remind
seen
me
it,
of
yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. He, the kung fu instructor.
yeah.
That's him.
Yes.
Right
Oh.
there. But look at those pants.
And I would like to
Look at
meet
those
that guy
pants he's got
too.
on.
Didn't really care for the movie, but that guy was pretty
Oh,
cool.
the movie.
I'd like to meet the
I watched
llama.
it like 3 days ago.
Oh, it's
Tina.
horrible.
I'd like to meet Tina the llama
used
from
to- when I-
Napoleon
You
Dynamite.
think she's still alive?
I gotta hope so. Probably not. That was like 14
How
years
long?
ago.
How
That
long
was-
llamas live?
That was
Probably
they
not
could be-
14
They could be
years,
like
I
one of
wouldn't
those
say.
like weird creatures that live for like 200 years or
like
something.
those
Probably
like
not.
mega tortoises.
Yeah.
that live
Probably not.
forever.
I did not know parrots live till like in their 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and,
like you buy a parrot, that fucker's burying you.
like the little what's the condor or something, the African condor or something. It's like a bird. It looks like a buzzard, like a badass buzzard.
Mm-hmm.
But they can live to be like 140 years old or something.
Not unless Zach Zagan gets hold of him.
Condors are pretty much
Roundhouse kick to
extinct.
the face.
Yeah, that's right.
Done.
I wish I
Backside
could
kick.
roundhouse. I can't even touch my toes.
Oh man, I would pull a muscle.
I would be.
I would pull him. I would pull a
we're like,
hammy.
Zach Zagan would not.
No,
I'd
no.
pull
Hey,
a
hold on a
muscle.
second.
I would
Time
pull a
out.
muscle.
We're not going to be his ass. We're ghost hunting his ass.
Yeah, we're gonna out ghost.
This is not.
And it's not just me. You got. Hey, we're a team here.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Regardless of how many times
You
we've
got my
talked
back, I
about
got your back.
the physical confrontations with Zak Bagans, this is not a physical confrontation.
No, that's
This is
that's
a ghost
childish.
hunting
That
con-
is flat childish.
Childish.
He's pretty big. So.
Yeah, and also,
It's child. He's
and
big.
he
All right.
probably has security guards. But anyway, so
yeah, he can afford that. We really can't.
We cannot. We would.
or maybe
be,
we can. He has no clue.
Well,
we
could
would
get
be-
some cheap security
that's right.
guards. I mean, I know some dudes just living on the street. You know, you give them $20, they'll do what you, whatever you
Oh,
want.
that crackhead down the road.
And they fight
Yeah.
like a son of a bitch.
Oh,
dude.
those guys. They can't feel
They-
shit.
they-
They're so
they're
methed out.
Because they're on crack.
They can beat the hell out of somebody.
Oh, they'll beat the hell out of you. They're so methed out. There's no way they can feel anything. I mean, Zach Zagan would punch them all night. They'd be done.
That's
He
right.
get-
Be like, go take some licks.
Yeah, we'd have him just jump out and scare the shit out of Zach Zagan.
Get
His
Birdman
ghost
on him.
hunt. But that would get a point for him. He would find one.
Yeah,
Can't happen.
that would be
No, we can't do that.
on his spectrometer.
Oh.
A point.
That would be.
Well, there's some shady stuff out here in the Ozarks. So if old Zak Zagan wants to, come check out.
Come
would
on
be better.
down.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
know, you
That
got-
would be better if
Or
Zagan
up.
came here.
Yeah, come
Yes.
to.
Hey, Eureka Springs, the freaking Crescent. Zach Zagan,
Hey.
I'm calling your ass out to the Crescent Hotel.
Yeah, that's
There you
right.
go.
Yep.
Stay at night.
Ghost Hunters
scary.
did. Ghost Hunters did that
What
shit.
about Rush? You got Rush?
I don't even know.
Rush Limbaugh?
No, Rush, Arkansas. It's an abandoned
Love
mining
Rush.
town.
Yeah, it's an abandoned mining
Yeah.
town.
And then you got Monte Nee, which is
What's
that? It's out towards Rogers. It's an abandoned resort that who was it? It was built in like the early 1900s. but it's
Oh,
like
okay, I
two
remember you telling me
resorts.
this.
It's like it's all abandoned. It's all like shut down. It was supposed to be a place to where civilization was going to arise after the apocalypse, and it's like some president built it.
Damn, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
Cool.
out towards Rogerson. It's like it's got an amphitheater that's like underneath Beaver Lake. I hadn't been out to that one, but I've looked at it
That
or
sounds
whatever.
pretty cool.
I definitely
Have
wanna
you
check
been to
it
the
out.
Crescent?
I've never been to the Crescent,
know the
but
story
I've heard
about it?
it's legit.
I mean, if you go down, there's the morgue down there. Have you been down to it?
Yeah,
No,
I've been
it's
like,
really
I've never
cool.
stayed the night.
We need to go down there sometime. I mean, basically, it was this guy that owned the. He bought it, I think, back in the 50s or something like that. Well, he was this cancer. He said he had the cure for cancer, and he was basically drilling holes in people's heads and stuffing this crap up in their head, and
Doing all
killing
sorts
them.
of experiments
dude.
on people.
Yeah, he was doing these crazy experiments, and down there in the morgue, they have all this. It's when you get down there, it's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I know when the ghost hunters went and did a thing, they had some footage of some like old soldier in there.
And I mean, religiously, people talk about their phones not working, their cameras not working down there. So, I mean, that's like almost uniformly people talk about that. As far as
my girlfriend said that she went, or she's gone down there, and
they
she said
have-
it's creepy.
It
She said
is creepy. Well, I mean, I know you have the vibe that it's creepy the whole time, but it does have a creepy vibe.
So,
Yeah.
so when we title this episode, are we gonna put the calling out Zak Bagans in the title?
Hell yeah!
All right. So whenever somebody searches, it get back to
Aliens?
him. It'll get back to him.
aliens, a little bit.
And
That's
then-
what we'll call a little bit of aliens,
like
some
six
paranormal investigation, and
Calling out Zak.
punk card for Zak Bagans.
Punk card. I feel like, man,
Been
I
thrown down.
Why
That's
did I,
was
what,
it.
I did not come into this episode by thinking of this at all.
I don't.
I don't even know where it came from.
To
We
your
weren't
credit,
talking about ghosts.
to your credit, we don't ever
How
come
did we
into
get
any
into that?
episodes
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
any sort of plan. I mean, that's kind of
brought
that's
it
I
not.
think we always have like a plan and a topic, but it always seems to venture off.
I think
That's the perk
think
of
you're
having.
wrong.
A
But that's what's good. We all have ADD, and that's what's good about the show.
Yeah.
It's called Manssanity. It's not called we're going to talk about the same shit for an hour.
that's right.
Even though a couple episodes we kept talking about the same thing.
That's only when Cody's in the house.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer. By the way, he made a stand on Dora the Explorer last night.
I was here.
I wish you.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to bring it back up. 'cause
Oh
it
yeah.
was-
If you check out the last episode, listen about Dora.
The Explorer
Yeah.
and what she's doing to America's youth. It's terrible, horrible things.
That's some of that info on Manssanity that I was telling you about. Is president. It says like presidential candidate. I guess he didn't get, but like yeah, I guess he didn't make it. But
Wonder why.
Harvey. Is that
Yeah,
who it was?
Montini, the William Hope,
William.
operated by
Yeah, William Hope or whatever.
Well, it looks pretty cool, and we probably need to go check that out.
Yeah,
because it
I
would be
mean-
really cool to go check a place out and then come in there and talk about it.
Maybe for the first
Or
time we
even
do
if we
video,
have-
we can
yeah.
do a remote location.
We could probably do something and send it to Zak Bagans and let him know how this works.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Can't go
bigger?
anyplace too
Like, you
far.
got
to
any
get car sick.
pointers for us, buddy?
Quit calling me out. That's your fucking pointer. Freaking
I don't
weight
wanna
drop your ass.
I don't want to see no real ghosts.
Here's another fun fact: they had the first indoor swimming pool in the state of Arkansas. So it's
Oh,
not
my
that cool,
goodness.
but still.
But anyway, hey, that is the end of the show.
That is
Is
I have
out.
no clue what episode it is, but we're out again.
number
Adios.
Adios.
500.